Right, what is going on, guys? JJ Richards here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Yeah, we make them So today, finally, I have pulled my finger out of my anus and I am going to be doing another gym review video. So this is episode 19. I know it's been a long time since I've actually done a gym review video, but that's because I haven't been traveling that much. But now, tomorrow, we're at Exeter because I'm judging at the FitX show. So I thought it'd be rude not to meet up with my good friend and client is there, Matt, over at Unit 7 Gym in Exeter to hit up some legs. So I've not actually been to this gym before, but I know there's quite a few people that train here. I know it's quite a popular gym around the Exeter way. So we're gonna go in there now. We're gonna have a look around, see what kind of kit they've got. I'm gonna kind of let Matt lead the way because this is his home gym. We're gonna smash up some legs and then we'll do a full review afterwards. So guys, make sure you drop the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go and see what they've got. Now, welcome to today's training segment of today's video. So we started things off with a good old-fashioned lie-in hamstring curl. Now, typically on a leg day, what I will now always do is actually start the session doing hamstrings and then quads, because primarily my focus is developing my hamstrings rather than my quads. So I would rather train my hamstrings at the start of the session when I'm fresh, rather than usually where people will add them on at the end of the session when you're already pretty fatigued from quads. So all of the pin loaded resistance kit that we used today was from a company called Paramount. Now, I didn't actually really like the setup of this lying hamstring curl because it's the same as the Matrix style at Pure Gym, where I don't like it where you have the arm brace and obviously the hip pad separate. I prefer to be on a bench where it covers the whole length of your body. So I just find it really difficult to try and get in the correct position. And then what we moved on to next was the seated hamstring curl. Now, exactly the same brand. And again, this was actually really nice and smooth. The only thing that I found is that with the strength curve, at the maximum peak contraction, the load actually drops off a little bit, but not too dramatic, but you just notice it drops off ever so slightly. But still, I much preferred the seated rather than the lying, where typically I always normally prefer a lying hamstring curl. So what we did, as you can see here, is we did a rest pause set. So I always like to add in one set intensifier for hamstrings. So basically we're doing a heavy load where we're trying to get 8 repetitions. We take 10 nice big controlled breaths, and then as you can see, we then go back in again. So on the next rotation, you want to try and get around, you know, anywhere between 4 to 5 repetitions, which we managed to get. And as you can see, I'm just getting a little bit of a spot at the end. And then again, we're going to take another 10 seconds rest, and then we're going to go back in again. And typically on the last rotation, if you've used a weight that's heavy enough, you're probably only going to get 1 to 2 reps. Now, if you are fortunate to have a spotter, then absolutely you can do like a force rep or a forced negative, just to push beyond that point of failure. Now, rest pauses are probably one of our favorite set intensifiers, because what you're doing is you're accumulating more volume whilst using a heavy weight. So you're still using a typical weight that you'd fail at around 8 to 10, but rather than resting and having a good break before you go into a set again, we're actually pushing that set to absolute failure. And as you can see, that was a hell of a burn. So this little bad boy, the hack squat, actually a really, really nice hack squat. Now Matt set the standard. He said, basically in this gym, if you can't do a 6-plate hack squat, you can't really call yourself a weightlifter. And as you can see, he managed to rack out a good 10 solid reps with 6 plates per side. Now this hack was really nice. Sometimes you tend to find if you go a little bit too low, you can bounce from the bottom because the rest point at the bottom is quite high. So you tend to find you're a bit nervous at the bottom that you don't want to bounce it, because I want all the tension to be on the quads. But other than that, this was a beautiful bit of kit. So as you can see, it was me up next. Matt really set the standard high here, knocking out 10 reps. However, I must say he had the advantage because this is his home gym. A lot of this kit I've never touched before, and as you can see, I made it look a little bit harder. And check out those absolutely insane knee wraps from Muscle Shed. Little plug there, beautiful knee wraps. So again, I managed to rack out 10 repetitions. However, I didn't quite make it look as easy as Matt, but I couldn't let him beat me on this one, because the problem is I'm super competitive, and it's not very often that I train with someone that is actually stronger than me. And Matt is a former strongman. He is very, very strong, and you will see here. So this was a pendulum squat. Do you know what? I can't lie, I don't like pendulum squats. I just don't know why. I just can't connect with it very well. I don't like the angle. I can squat 200 kilos, no problem for reps, but a couple of like templates on the pendulum and I absolutely fold. So, you know, Matt again, he makes it look really easy. We've got 2 20s per side on this one. His form and technique is really nice, and again, his use of this bit of equipment, I think for me, I'm just using all the excuses in the world at the moment. So I've actually only ever used a pendulum squat about 3 times, because none of my local gyms have one, and I tried to use the same weight, and as you can see, I kind of had to do an improv drop set, because I wasn't intending on doing a drop set. However, doing 2 plates was just too much for me, and I was just trying to push from everything to try and just move the weight, and I wasn't really connecting very well and putting the tension through the quads. So again, we kind of did a bit of an improv drop set on this one. And I think pendulum is one of those movements that my local gym has actually now got. And it is a good movement and a lot of people like it. For me, I much prefer just a free squat. But when I'm doing these gym reviews, in order to give you, my opinion on certain bits of equipment, brands of equipment, etc., I try and use the machines more than just barbells and dumbbells, because at the end of the day, I can't give a review on the barbells, they're all pretty much the same. So this was actually the last bit of kit here. Again, this was the Paramount leg extension. This was really nice. The only slight issue with this is that you can't really notice on the eye, but the actual foot rest itself that you put on the shins is on a slight angle. So you tend to find that one leg is working more than the other, and Matt actually pointed that out to me. But other than that, it's only minor. It's actually a really nice and smooth, controlled piece of kit. So every leg day, we always had to finish off with an absolute brutal drop set, just to drive as much blood and volume into the quads as possible. And today was no different. So we did a triple drop set, and we're aiming for anywhere between 10 to 15 reps on each set. And at this point right now, I was absolutely blowing because my quads were still destroyed from the set before, but we pushed through it, we got it done, had an absolutely amazing session. Always good to catch up with good friends and train. Right then guys, so it's actually now the next day, and that was a juicy, juicy leg session. So review of the Unit 7 gym in Exeter. So firstly, Location was great. I always like it when you put in a sat-nav and it takes you right to the front door of the gym. There's no trying to hunt around, trying to guess which unit it is. And parking was absolutely perfect. So I managed to get parked right outside. No issues whatsoever. So location, parking, great. There's nothing worse than going to a gym and you can't park. That is the disaster. So in terms of price, I actually don't know how much it costs for a day pass because they have a very, very generous offer where, if you remember, you can bring a friend along free for Friday, which is a fantastic marketing tool to drive more people into the door of the gym. So hopefully they go there, they have a great session, they enjoy it, they've already got a friend that's a member, so the likelihood of them joining is going to be really high. So it's a really good marketing tool, so it's really, really good that they give you the option that you can bring a friend to train for Friday. And that's what I did. So thank you, Unit 7, for your kind generosity. So in terms of the gym itself, I actually quite like it. I'm not going to lie. I think there's a good kind of like variety of equipment. They've got Watson, they've got Hammer Strength, they've got some Nautilus, trying to think what else they've got in there. They have a bit of a mixed bag of everything, if I'm honest with you. I didn't quite get to go on all the bits of kit, but obviously I've used quite a lot of it before, so I know what's good and I know what isn't. Dumbbells, sick. They go really heavy as well, which is always good in those kinds of gyms. And in terms of like stuff that they've got that's a little bit different, it's a little bit quirky. A few things that stand out is one, I really like the upstairs functional area. I think obviously if you're a gym and you do classes, I think to have like a big functional area, especially like how popular like CrossFit is and functional training is. But one thing that they did that I absolutely loved is they had a kids class going on when I went into that gym and trying to encourage children and teenagers to get into fitness. Anyone that does that gets a massive thumbs up from me. So it was really, really good to see lots of youngsters in the gym on a Friday night trying to get fit and healthy. So things like that were really, really good. And that functional space upstairs is perfect. So you can do loads of different classes on there. They've got loads of kit. It is phenomenal. So I think in terms of like the gym itself, I think that overall, I think in terms of the space, what they've done, it's very, very good. They probably, isn't any bits of kit that was missing from what I saw. I always look at it in terms of like lower body, back and push. Arms I don't care about, you can use dumbbells for that. But they had a good variety of equipment for each one of those movements. I'm now getting photobombed behind me. So in terms of equipment, accessibility, really good. I always try and find the negatives. I think one of the only things that I could find that I thought was a little bit of a negative was I didn't like the position of the leg kit as you go in. So I know they tried the limited for space, but as you go in, you've got the cardio kit on the left-hand side. Then on the right-hand side, you've got like the 3 bits of leg machines that we use. And it's almost like you're training in the corridor, so there's quite a lot of busy traffic going back and forth. So I didn't love that, but I understand they're trying to do the best they can with the space. But that was the only thing that I really didn't like in terms of layout. Everything else I thought was absolutely spot on. Changing rooms, toilets, immaculate. Staff were really nice and friendly from what I saw. Facilities were clean. All the kit was clean. Everyone re-racks the weights, which is key when you go to a gym. So overall, I was very, very impressed. So if you're down at Unit 7 in Exeter, I keep getting Essex and Exeter mixed up. They sound the same, just quite far apart. But anyway, guys, make sure you go and check it out. And if you've got a friend, get them to take you on a Friday. Very, very good. Right, that is the end of today's gym review video, guys. Thanks for sticking along. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And now I'm going to try, now I'm traveling a bit more, to get more of these gym review videos out. So as always, if there's a really good gym near you that you think I should go, check out, try it out, then please let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, do that right now. Until next time, peace.